Alright, so today is, gosh, what is the day? 14th of January 2022. Alright, I finished trading. I did some trading in my real account and also paper traded a setup at the end. So the reason why I did that is purely because I realized one of the problems I've been having is trading really well for the first part of the day and then messing it up in the last part of the day. Actually, this I didn't think I did a recap for yesterday, um, but today I did some paper trading and some real trading, and I think the key for me now is to be selective and to just focus solely on what I'm trying to achieve for the day. So today I did that. Actually, initially I didn't. I realized um, I I just jumped in because I wanted to take a trade because I hadn't taken a trade all day like in my real account. So today was the day when I normally on Fridays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays I have daddy duties, and therefore I can't trade the markets throughout the day. But I can on Fridays I can trade the latter part of the day, and I think I had FOMO, and therefore I took a trade with no plan whatsoever, and ended up very negative, and I had to build it back. And I didn't like the manner in which I did that, even the manner in which I built it back. I mean, I took control, but the fact that I jumped in without a good setup, and I decided afterwards to just paper trade. All right, so I'll talk through the day, um, and essentially go through all the different setups. This was for yesterday, actually. I put in all the marks, but I didn't actually record what was happening. Yesterday, I took a trade from here. I waited for this to play. I actually took a trade here and then realized that, hang on, there's a big breakout here. We should have a second leg down. Therefore, this is most likely going to be minor. Maybe I should just wait for the wedge to form so I can take it down here. And I got grab 10 points here, which was beautiful. I think it was 10 points. Let me actually have a look. I can't remember. Did I get up to 10? Because I remember I got out. Did I get 10 or 5? I think I did 5 and 10. Maybe because I took this. Actually, I know what happened. I took this trade, then I got out because I didn't like this pullback and I wasn't in the right frame of mind. Um, I pretty much did most of my trading in this trading range, which is stupid because I was scalping through with high positions and I shouldn't have done that. Then I took a short here, and I got out about here only because of this apex over here. And I thought, okay, we're going to have an agreement area. We just kept going down, got here. Things got slightly confusing because of all these wicks. When things get confusing, you know it's a trading range. And then we had a second leg down, which is, if you look at it, when I now look at it, I realize that actually, if I was looking for a wedge, I would want this to go down because then it completes my wedge. I.e., you have one one down. Well, actually, this is one pullback, two pullback, three. So that's why I've marked it here because this is the first pullback, or should I say this is the first pullback, this is the second pullback, so you're expecting a third and then maybe an exhaustive leg, or this is your second, and so this was a low of day. Did not actually think we were going to break it because I thought we would carry on in this trading range we have over here, but actually we had this pullback, and this is the middle of the range. That's the other thing, because we're in the middle of the range, I assumed we are going to come back and test the highs. This is a valid short. I took it short below this bar. I don't know why I put this here. It should really be here. Yeah, it should really be here. But anyway, I took it short below this bar. It pulled back, and I got out for a very small gain. Um, I don't know why I did that because ideally the point is you do sometimes get a pullback, especially when you have a tight channel like this. You should expect. I think maybe because I saw this as a breakout, I expected we're gonna get more highs, at least one more. But that wasn't the case. We had a massive sell-off, and this started a bear trend because we broke the lows of this trading range, which started here. Anyway, so I then now just decide to stop for the day. Then I saw this, so I caught this here. I first went long here because I thought, okay, if I grab this wedge, going long here, two nice bull bars. One closing on its high, really bad signal, but really good one, and nice pullback. Well, not a nice one, but a pullback and then went up. So it's the opposite of what's happening over here. And then just took this short, and I think I did go for 10 points because I think I was targeting here. Yeah, I did go for 10 points. Here was a bit confusing, only because we had this double bottom, and I expected price to retrace. In fact, if I am right, I do have this still on. I marked all the different measured moves and everything here. So this is what I was using to trade. So I had a double bottom here. Went long here, failed, went through. I didn't think we would go low. I thought, okay, fine, this is a measured move based on this range. There's not much to just jump in at the bottom of this bar. I could have gone in here, just the base of this zone. But I thought, okay, let's wait for this bar to close. Closed pretty strongly. I did not actually take it. Went sideways, so I thought, okay, let me go long again. Got stopped out one more time. I thought, okay, this is not working out. Oh, this is a very strong bear trend. We keep rejecting the 20 MA. We're probably going lower. The reason why I was going long, I think, is also because I was listening to Al. I was talking about the fact that this low, you had an overlap with this candle here, so therefore chances are we were not going to go very far. But in actual fact, we went really far. We kept breaking out, and today we had the most sort of biggest breakout, I guess. All right, so today, how did we trade it? So today I was very, you know what? Let me use this chart since it's a lot clearer. I decided that I was going to use a Globex chart to make decisions because I wanted to get a better understanding of what the trend is doing and get a good sense of how we're trading. I had some demand zones here, but as you can see, prices cut through. There was a nice demand zone over here from way back, which is basically a pivot. Yeah, so we had one that was formed here, and as you can see, there's another one over here which we which is actually the November open. Oh my gosh, that is also demand. Aha, interesting. All right, so we tested this pivot level, we slowly retraced, and then we broke it. So therefore, we're still, and as you can see, this is a wedge. We're coming back down to test here. We also have a wedge here, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, so I actually thought the wedge was 1, 2, and 3, but no. Now I think about it, I realize that no, you need to see more trading, at least from this perspective. All right, so this came in, bounced up, then came back down. Big, massive breakout. When you have a breakout like this, you're expecting a second leg down, right? I didn't really consider that, but now I'm thinking about it. I realize that, yeah, I do need, if I see something that's strong, I'm expecting a second leg, and therefore this and this was no surprise. The fact that it went this far was a bit of a surprise, but it wasn't a big surprise to see this. We had a trading range day, which was kind of expected. If you're strongly bullish like this, and you have this here, you're most likely going to reject it and come back down and form a trading range. Big up, big down. All right. My general consensus of the day was this. We went up, then we went down. This was okay, this was okay. This was confused. Well, this, I'll explain going in when we're going through the entries. And then this was a bit confusing because I thought we had a triangle. We're forming one of those, one of these. Actually, it's better when I show it with pre-market off. I thought it was one of these. And this was a low, and then we broke the low strongly, so I thought maybe we're going down. And then we hit the demand zone, which is also the November open, and then bounced off it. In fact, I'm now curious to see what the November open looks like on the monthly chart, because we found support. Alright, so this is November. Okay, so why is this going so far down? This is 4-5. I mean, we haven't broken it, but we went pretty low. So I'm gonna have a look. 4-5. Oh, maybe it was this. Yeah, it was this. Yeah, it was this. Yeah. So we dipped down below the November open, and then we rallied strongly, and we've come back down again. Yeah. So we may actually come. See, do you see what's happening here? Bull flag. So we could be forming another flag here. A bear flag. Sorry, what am I saying? One, pull back, two, and then maybe coming all the way up, and you now have another second leg of this. Anyway, so what did I say? Because the wedge may have triggered. This is now a lower, a bear trend, a bear leg. All right, so today was a reversal day, as you can see. Strong here, 3 pushes down, 1, 2, and 3. So we were expecting this double bottom. We actually had a lower low major trend reversal here. So essentially, but you see, when you look at the Globex chart, things look slightly different. Although we did go below this low, but it was around this area. Yeah, double bottom, and then we went higher. All right, so let's go into the entries. All right. Okay, so I saw this first bar of the day, black doji or bear doji. So therefore, the next bar, being a bull bar, will probably give you a sign. No matter how strong it is, we're probably going to reverse. But also, it looks like we may be in a trading range because we have a doji. I mean, it was a big, massive bull breakout, a lot of points. Then we had this, which when it opened, it went all the way up, and it went down, it went up. Then I think I got in here, and I wanted to grab 10 points. The risk was high because you think about it, it's 20 something points, 26. But I was confident that two big bars, two bars, one big, always in long by the close, and if I had held, we would have gotten 10 points at the moving average. But I didn't. I ended up getting 3 points. We got to about 5 points or so here, and then we started to come down, and I just said, you know what, this looks like a bear flag. I was looking at this on a tick chart, and we didn't look like we were strong. I think I'm not going to be looking at tick charts anymore because it confused me. Because now look at this. No low went below the low of the previous bar, and as a result we went to the first point. Anyway, got about 3 points. But as you can see, it's a spike. Where's a pullback and channel? 3 pushes. So maybe this is a pullback if we zoom in properly. Is this going low? Yes, it is a pullback. So 1 pullback, 2 pullback, 3. So this is the wedge. At the time, it was slightly confusing, but that is the wedge because this is the first high and this is the first pullback. So 1 pullback, 2 pullback, 3. And your entries here. So at the time, I thought this was the wedge. 1, 2, 3. And your entry was below this. Actually, the entry is below this bar, but then I tried to go below this bar. No. Whatever would have happened, even if it was below this bar, it would have been fine. Anyway, the entry's here, your stop up here. Alright, so this now went again. Now, was this confusing? No, this was fine. 1, I think we crossed it here again. 1, pullback. 2, pullback. 3. So here we go. We have another wedge bottom here. So could take this, duplicate, take this long above here. And in my paper trading account, I actually did that. I wasn't sure we are going to get 10 points, but we actually got like 20, which was amazing. Yeah, about 17, about 17, 18, yeah, well, it was pretty awesome. Now, this is where things got confusing. We went 1 pullback, and we just started buying. So this is a buy climax. and then we just sold off from there. I wasn't really sure how to count the legs here, only because of the fact that we sold off. Because when we did that, one pullback, two pullback, three, I guess, but this high did not go above that other high. So I wasn't sure whether this was the top and therefore the wedge was from here. But in any case, because of this pullback, and maybe that would have had something to do with why bears were able to short this double top. Double tops are things I don't really look at. They're things I should consider, because when they trigger, they're pretty powerful, but I never ever consider them. You have these inside bar, outside bar. So this is something that Al talks about, that this is a very powerful pattern, and I haven't really understood it. I understand inside bars, but outside like this, I get this. Yeah, this is a, I get what's going on here, but this is like an expanding triangle. But I don't understand the significance, why it's a powerful pattern. So you have one pullback, two, and in fact, what's actually happening? You have a bear breakout. So it's almost as if you have this trading range here, then a bear breakout, and then three pushes down, 1, 2, 3. So this is your entry here. This was so confusing. I wasn't sure how to enter it, because it looked like one pullback, two pullback, three, and this was going up, but then it failed. The thing that did sort of concern me slightly was the fact that we were mainly below the moving average. So I assumed the trend was going to continue. Now this is what I should have done. However, when I was paper trading this, I first looked at the lows and I thought, okay, if we look so strong, although it's the third leg down, so strong, we might get a measured move down. This bar was pretty strong, and then we had this bar. I think this is what negated everything, but I didn't see it that way. I thought, okay, maybe we're going down again, and then this presented itself, and I did not consider the fact that we had this bear spike, and we are looking for three pushes down, and maybe this is where I should be looking to enter if we were going down, like below this bar. But it didn't happen. Instead, what happened was this: we went sideways again, and we had a bull bar that closed on its high, and a beautiful signal bar. Alright, again, things got slightly confusing here. Not so much actually. One pullback, two. So we have another wedge here, and it failed. And when I see that, I know we're going for a measured move. So about there. So that is a credible entry. And I think at this point, the market jumped into the market went into a small back pull bull trend. There were so many wedges. There's another wedge here that failed. Another small back bull trend. Small pullback bull trend. Here you can see they took profits here, but then they still kept going higher. And you had a small pause higher. So I took a trade once we broke this high, because I saw this wedge top. Oops. It's a beautiful wedge top, but it did not trigger. Instead it went higher. And when that happens, you know what happens. We go for a measured move. Possibly that. And of course, there's another measured move based on, well, that was based on that. There's another one based on that as well. Alright, so like I said, jumped in when we broke this high because of this wedge failed, and held till we got to this bar. So 1, 2, so I thought, okay, this bar is probably going to form, so I got out round about here. And that's where I left it. But anyway, as I said, this is probably a reversal day. As you can see, we had a test of the moving average, so a nice spike. This pattern has appeared before. It appeared, is it here? Yeah, we had the same thing. Came down, tested the moving average, sold off, came back up. This time we went up before we went down, whereas for this particular day it was the other way around. we went down twice before it went up. So in a sense, this is a wedge, or you can call it a triangle if you want. 1, 2, 3. So it's a very strong pattern. And then also looking at the SD chart, we had this demand zone as well, which I had charted from way back. So, oh yeah, in fact I can actually show it. It's this area. So this was the next. So once this had broken, obviously this had broken, I said, okay, this area needs to be tested. So I drew all the zones, and therefore this would have been a zone of interest to me. Seeing the response to the zone was a good play. I didn't take it because, like I said, at the time I was more short biased until I realized later on when I looked into the Globex chart that we had a double bottom with this. So this breaking out this low was unlikely. It wasn't this low we're breaking. It would have to break this low like properly, and we had bull bars printed. So it wasn't going to be like what day was that? Maybe like this day. You see what's happened here? How we broke this and then broke this and then went down strongly. It wasn't going to be like that. And then there was another day where that happened. I remember I traded that day, which was quite bearish, but I thought we were in a trading range. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was this day. Yeah, I thought we were in a trading range, big up big, but it wasn't that big. Now I look at it, I realize no, it was just a very small, tiny range. No, it wasn't this day. It wasn't this day. This looks like my FOMC day. It wasn't that 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 day. I'm getting close. I can feel it. No, it wasn't this one. It wasn't this one. It was a bear trend day. It started as a trading range and then it became a bear trend. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it. It's so funny. I remember all these days and what happened in them. I can't find it. I don't know where it is, but yeah, similar thing. Oh, still going higher. I think we're back in the bull trend till we get back to the highs. I think we're going back to this trend line for this wedge to complete. I think, if anything, this is a broad channel. So this is the buy, this is the buy. Let me just check if we redraw as channel. Yeah, look at that. Pretty parallel. Yeah, it's pretty decent. So yeah, I think this is what's happening. I think, because if you think about it, wedges are forming and this wedge is reversing here. So these were high probability buys. The market should start rallying, at least to test this high, possibly this next high, before we go back down again. And that should be interesting. Alright, so that's my trading for today.